The smell of old money tucked in a drawer. That scent of paper that yellowed, that lost its freshness. Your grandfather saved like that. It worked. Today, it's the smell of your freedom rotting in silence. If you have money sitting there earning pennies in a savings account, you're not secure. You're being milked. And if that made your stomach turn, good. Your instinct is trying to tell you something your eyes haven't seen yet. Stay with me because what I'm about to show you will change how you see every dollar you've ever worked for. Before we go deeper, let me tell you something. The herd doesn't want you watching this. They want you comfortable, obedient, saving your little pile while they feast on your sweat. If you're tired of being the meal, hit that subscribe button. This channel is for wolves who decided to stop following and start hunting. Let's talk about savings. That sacred word your parents taught you. That pillar of financial responsibility. Save 10%. Be prudent. Build your nest egg. The herd repeats it like a prayer. And the system loves it when you obey. You know why? Because while you're saving at 0.5% per month, real inflation is eating 7 to 12% of your money's power every single month. You're not building security. You're freezing meat in a unplugged freezer. It looks safe. It feels responsible. But open that door in 3 years and tell me what you smell. Rot. Here's the trap they don't tell you about. The cycle works like this. You work hard. You save like a good sheep. Your account balance grows. You feel proud. Meanwhile, the purchasing power of every dollar in that account is melting like ice in the desert sun. So next year, you need to work even harder to maintain the same lifestyle. And you do, because you're responsible, because you're disciplined. And the wolves running the system? They're counting on exactly that. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're filling a bucket, but the bucket has holes, small ones. You can't see them clearly, but you feel it. You feel that something's wrong. You're pouring and pouring, working overtime, sacrificing weekends, and the bucket never seems full enough. That's not a flaw in your work ethic. That's a flaw in the bucket. The holes are called inflation, hidden fees, and the biggest one, the belief that sitting still is the same as being safe. The herd was trained for generations. Your parents lived in a different game. When they saved money, it actually held value. $1 in 1970 could buy you a week's worth of groceries. Today, that same dollar buys you a candy bar. Maybe. The rules changed in the middle of the match, and nobody sent you the memo. What was prudence became naivety. What was security became a slow bleed. And here's the cruelest part. They keep teaching the old game to new players. Save, save, save. Keep your money safe in the bank. Don't take risks. And you, at 50, 55 years old, you finally start to smell it. You've been doing everything right according to the manual, and somehow you're still running in place. Your pile of paper grew, but your power didn't. That's the moment. That's when the wolf inside you wakes up. Let me show you what the wolf sees that the sheep can't. The herd saves. The herd accumulates paper. They celebrate account balances. They feel rich looking at numbers on a screen. The wolf hunts. The wolf accumulates assets that work, tools that bring food to the den while he sleeps. The herd celebrates the size of their pile. The wolf celebrates flow, money that moves, money that reproduces, money that doesn't sit there waiting to be devalued by forces you can't control. The sheep is afraid to risk. The wolf is afraid to stay still. Do you see the difference? It's not about being reckless. It's about understanding that in a game where the value of money melts every day, keeping it frozen is the riskiest move of all. You think you're being safe. You're actually choosing the guaranteed loss over the potential gain. Here's something most people over 50 know but won't admit out loud. You've been lied to. Not maliciously, maybe, but lied to nonetheless. The financial advice that worked for your parents doesn't work anymore. The economy shifted. The game shifted. And the players who didn't adapt? They're still pouring water into broken buckets wondering why they're thirsty. I want you to do something right now, not later, right now. Open your bank statement, look at how much you had saved 3 years ago. Write down that number. Now calculate something. What could that amount buy you 3 years ago? A car? 3 months of living expenses? A vacation? Now ask yourself, what does that same number buy you today? Less. Always less. That's not a feeling. That's math. That's the smell of your freedom evaporating while you were being a good, obedient saver. And if you felt a knot in your stomach just now, that's your wolf waking up. That's your instinct screaming what your training tried to bury. The awakened wolf doesn't hoard bones. He uses bones to build traps that bring more meat. While the herd accumulates paper, the wolf accumulates future purchasing power. And there's a massive difference between those two things. So what does the wolf do differently? Let me break it down. Nut theory. Strategy. First, the wolf identifies the leaks. Where is your money evaporating? Inflation is the obvious one, but look deeper. bank fees that you don't even notice anymore, insurance policies that you signed up for a decade ago and never reviewed, subscriptions to things you forgot you're paying for. The wolf plugs the leaks before trying to fill the bucket. The herd just pours faster and wonders why nothing changes. Second, the wolf understands that salary is fuel, not the destination. The herd sees their paycheck as the finish line. Work, get paid, repeat. The wolf sees the paycheck as gasoline for the hunt. It's what you use to buy the tools that will feed you when you stop working. And let me tell you something, if you're over 50, that day is closer than you think. The question is, will you enter that phase with paper that's losing value or with assets that generate flow? Third, and this is critical, the wolf buys hunting tools, not decorations. What's a hunting tool? It's anything that works for you. Dividend-paying stocks that send you cash every quarter whether you lift a finger or not. Real estate that generates rent. Royalties from intellectual property. Skills that people will pay you for even when you're 70. These are tools. They hunt while you rest. The herd buys things that make them feel rich. The wolf buys things that make him free. Now I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds risky. This sounds like gambling. And I get it. You've been told your whole life that the safe move is to keep everything in the bank. But answer me this. Is it really less risky to guarantee that your money loses value every single year, or to put it to work in assets that have a chance of growing? The wolf doesn't gamble. The wolf calculates. The wolf moves with caution, yes, but he moves. Staying still in a forest fire isn't caution, it's suicide. Here's the wisdom that age brings. At 50, you don't have the luxury of time that a 20-year-old has. You can't afford to wait 30 years for compound interest on a 0.5% return. You need strategies that work in the time frame you actually have. And that means you need to shift from accumulating paper to accumulating power. Power to choose, power to say no, power to live the last decades of your life on your terms, not on the terms of a system that sees you as livestock. The awakened wolf builds in silence. He doesn't announce his moves to the herd. He doesn't brag about his portfolio at parties. He quietly shifts his resources from depreciating paper to appreciating assets. He learns, he adapts, and most importantly, he stops playing the game that was designed for him to lose. Let me give you 3 steps. Just 3, you can start today. Step 1, stop adding to the pile that's melting. I'm not saying pull everything out tomorrow and create a crisis. I'm saying stop feeding the guaranteed loss, redirect. If you're automatically depositing 10% of your paycheck into a savings account earning nothing, redirect half of that into learning about assets. Buy a book, take a course, understand what dividend aristocrats are, understand what real assets mean. Education is the first hunting tool. Step 2, use the bait to buy tools. You still have income. Good. Don't despise it. Use it strategically. Every dollar that comes in should have a job. And that job is not to sit in a drawer losing value. Its job is to become something that generates more dollars. Start small if you need to. 1 share of a dividend stock. 1 small piece of rental real estate through a REIT. 1 skill that you can monetize. The size doesn't matter at first. The direction does. Step 3. Build your reserve in silence. The herd will mock you. Your friends will tell you you're being paranoid or risky. Ignore them. They're still asleep. You're awake, the wolf doesn't convince the sheep. He simply walks a different path. Let your results speak in 5 years when they're still complaining about how expensive everything got and you're living off the flow your assets generate. This isn't about getting rich quick. This is about refusing to get poor slowly. And if you've made it this far in this video, you already know something shifted inside you. You smelled the danger. You saw the cage even though it's painted to look like safety. This content isn't for people who want to feel comfortable saving pennies. This is for those who decided that their last decade of hard work won't be wasted feeding a system that domesticated them their entire lives. You've built too much, you've sacrificed too much, you've learned too much to spend your final working years being prey. If you felt the trap while watching this, drop a comment. Just 1 word, awake. That's how I identify the other wolves. That's how we find each other in a world full of sheep. The algorithm will push this to more people like you when it sees you're engaged. Help me reach the other wolves who are still sleeping, and listen, hit that notification bell right now. The next video is going to open your eyes even wider. What I'm about to reveal will make this look like just a warm-up. You don't want to miss it. The herd won't share it. They can't. They don't even understand what they're looking at. The choice is yours. You can go back to sleep, go back to pouring water into a broken bucket and hoping this time it'll be different, or you can wake up fully, learn the new rules, and start hunting like the wolf you were always meant to be. The old game is over. The wolves know it. Do you?